Good morning, friends. We have a very special guest with us today, Mr. Sanjiv Bhasin, who is the CEO of AfrAsia Bank in Mauritius. I've known Mr. Bhasin for the last 10 years. I've had the privilege of working under him. He's been with the banks like HSBC, Rabo, and DBS over a 40-year career in banking. I've prepared a few questions for Mr. Bhasin. So welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Great to be back with you. And I believe you're doing some good work during the lockdown period, trying to interview people or take their videos and get their messages across. Great idea.
Absolutely, sir. Trying to make the most of this time sitting at home. But so quickly, I'll take you through the questions. Firstly, I wanted to know on the personal front, how are you guys managing in terms of the family, and what is the situation like for you guys there?
So like India, we are also in a lockdown here. And we are really managing well. We got to operate from home. As you know, the banking industry everywhere is in essential services. So we are managing a full operation, but obviously introducing the concept of having the majority of the people work from home and a few people who are needed at the offices and at the branches. So it's been a wonderful new learning, how to see how a majority of people can work from home.
Right.
Prior to that, a work from home concept was some people choosing to stay at home and do their day's work because they had a plumber coming home, or they had an ill small child to look after, or ill parent to look after that particular day. But now this has become a way of life, and I think that's a new paradigm shift. Globally, everybody's realized that you can, really speaking, work from home for quite a lot of operations and services. Not entirely, but yes, a manufacturing unit will require people on the shop floor that you can't do without, unless you have the robots taking over. So it's been a great learning, and we managed well sitting at home, spending time at home, spending time with the family, sometimes cooking, sometimes cleaning, sometimes washing, ironing, and managing the full day work. So good experience.
I'm sure you're missing your golf a lot.
Yes, that is a big problem. That's a big problem. And why golf you can't play, I can't understand. But that's a sport where you can maintain, I think, quite a big distance. So social distancing, and you can play alone. But anyway, let's respect that.
On the work front, sir, how are you managing in terms of keeping the team motivated, keeping their morale high, or generally connecting with them, if I may ask?
I think the challenge here is that the motivation levels have to be kept high, primarily because a few of us, let's say about 1 or 2% of the staff, is traveling, and the environment is not very comfortable, if I may use that word. And the only way to keep the motivation in general going is to the frequency of communication.
Right.
And the frequency at which you recognize every performance and every contribution of every person in the team has to be increased significantly. Small successes have to be celebrated in various forms and fashion. Sometimes I also take a trip to the office to congratulate people who are there personally, trying to see how we can institute certain kind of rewards and recognize the performance instantly. Then we have a methodology whereby we take a review of what all has happened during the day at two times a day. For example, at the close or at the end of the day, trying to identify some great contributions made. We are also lucky enough that a lot of customers are writing back to us and praising our ability and the manner in which we are handling their requests. So that is being shared with the team constantly. Because I believe external recognition or an external appreciation is the best form of recognition, and therefore the most ideal way to pass that on and increase the motivation across the entire team. So that's what we're trying to do.
That's awesome, sir. In terms of this whole crisis impacting the industry as a whole, I wanted to hear your opinion on that.
Okay, there are two ways of looking at it. First, as I said, that this is a pandemic which has hit a lot of countries.
Right.
And most of the countries have reacted pretty much similarly. So one concept which is straight coming to my mind is that this lockdown period, which is already in its 3 weeks, businesses will have to deliver the service differently. Now, for example, for banking, why is it being declared an essential service? Because that's the way some people get their cash, either through ATMs or through the branches. So therefore, the greater penetration of cashless methodology, payment systems will have to happen all over the globe.
Yeah.
There will be different businesses will take shape, and I'm confident.
Last question, sir, I had for you was that because of this crisis, a lot of people are going to face retrenchment across the board. A lot of companies are not going to be able to sustain the workforces that they currently have with the cash flow issues. Wanted to ask you if you had any advice or suggestions for these people who are going to be, facing the brunt of this retrenchment.
I think some of the retrenchment is literally, if I may use the word, is probably temporary. For example, I cannot see that you will not need labor in agriculture. No matter how much you modernize it, that's the process of modernization which is happening. But you'll need labor in agriculture to move and to reap your produce. Manufacturing shop floors, yes, there will be rationalization, efficiency gains, use of robots, but you will still need people there. And some of the people will be needed because the scale of the operation could be up, and therefore the retrenchment, in my opinion, a large proportion of the retrenchment can at best be, let's say, temporary in nature, and will find it back into the same position with different skills or with different kinds of skills. The other part of the labor which is being retrenched will have new opportunity because new businesses. Let's take a simple example. If home delivery concept is penetrating at a faster scale and is reaching everybody, you can imagine the kind of delivery mechanism and the kind of people needed. Yeah. So let's see.
No, good, sir. I was very keen to listen to what you had to say, and I'm grateful to you for taking the time out. And luckily today is a Sunday, so you had the time, although you're also working from home. So once again, profound thanks, and I'll be in touch. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.